Hello everyone, welcome back to Small Town Garden Life. It has been a hot second since I filmed a YouTube video. I had every intention of filming quite often, but then life got in the way and I had twin boys that were really early. So needless to say, it's been almost a year since I filmed one of these, so I'm really excited to be back and to show you some good things. Today I want to talk about my seed starting station and kind of how I set things up. I want to show you how to transplant some seedlings, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about the hardening off process. So if this is something you're interested in, then keep on watching. Okay, so I am keeping it totally real with you. My seed starting station is always such a big mess. I have jugs everywhere because I also do some winter sowing, and I talk about that a little bit on my Instagram. So if you aren't following me on there, go to Small Town Garden Life on Instagram and you can learn a little bit more about how to winter sow. But here is my setup. So I have my seed starting station in my basement. I have some shop lights from Lowe's, and that is what I use for my lighting. One thing about seed starting, it can get really, really intimidating, and you can feel like you have to have like all these perfect seed starting lights, and that's not true. You can get these lights from Lowe's. I believe they were $20 a piece, and then the bulbs might have been $10, so for each light set, $30 total, but completely worth the investment. I've had mine for over 2 years now, and they are still doing really good. So don't feel like you have to invest in perfect, expensive, like specific seed starting lights. Just any old shop light will do just fine. It is mid-February and I already have a lot started in my basement. I do probably start some things earlier than most, just because I get excited and I figure I can always keep it in here an extra week or two if it's not ready to go outside. So I have some rainbow Swiss chard here that I've already transplanted into bigger containers, and I like to use any leftover container I can find. So here is an example of what I would use. This is just a leftover Proven Winners container. And I will start my seeds in these, and I'll also transplant my smaller seedlings into these whenever I need bigger containers. But this is just the most sustainable, cost-effective way to start seedlings in my opinions, because I don't have to go out and buy these. And I believe a lot of places have recycle programs where you can pick these up as well. So Swiss chard, I have some sweet peas, which I'm so excited about. I've never grown them before. They are coming up beautifully. I'm so excited, and I hear they smell amazing. So, looking forward to the sweet peas. I have some sweet potatoes here. So these are sweet potato slips, and I will plant these out in May, and then hopefully I'll get some sweet potatoes. And then here is a sweet potato that is growing more slips. So as soon as this gets big enough, like each of these get a few inches, I will take them off and put them in soil like I did these, because these started out like this. I have some brassicas here, so broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and then I have some microgreens here, which I've never grown before, but they were super easy and they're delicious. So I'm definitely gonna be doing that again. I have some flowers started already. This is some celosia. And then I have some pansies over here. And then I've got some cat grass that I'm growing for my cat. And then I've also started some peppers. So I usually sow more than one seed per cell. So if you can see, there are 2 in here. Once they get their true leaves, which is their second set of leaves, if you can see these coming in here, this is the true leaves growing. These are just the first set of leaves. So once they have 2 sets of leaves, I will transplant these to bigger containers and separate them. Let's talk real quick about how to harden off your plants. Now, if you've never heard of hardening off your plants and you've tried starting seeds indoors in the past and just thought that you had a black thumb, this is probably why. When you start your seeds indoors, they are like tiny little sensitive babies. basically, since they weren't started outside, they are not acclimated to different types of weather. So if you immediately take your seedlings that you start inside and take them outside, they will immediately die. You have to do a process that's called hardening off your plants. So you will take your little plant baby and you will put it outside for like 30 minutes whenever the temperatures start to warm up, and then you'll bring it back inside. And then the next day you can do it for an hour or two in a shaded area, and then you bring it back inside. You'll repeat this process over the next week to 2 weeks, depending on your weather and how much time you have. And then your plants will be ready for their first overnight, spend the night. Once they've been outside for a few days and they've spent the night and they seem to be doing well, then you can transplant them into the garden. If you skip the hardening off process, your plants will 100% of the time die. So make sure that you do this to ensure that your plants survive and all of your hard work was not for nothing. Here is my tray of brassicas. So like I said earlier, I usually sow more than one seed per cell. That way I can ensure germination. So whenever my seedlings get their true leaves, which is whenever they have more than 2 leaves, so these have 4 apiece, that's whenever you know you need to transplant them. So these babies are ready to be transplanted. Now, to fill my pots that I'm transplanting my seedlings into, I'm just using a seed starting mix from Miracle-Gro, but you can use any potting soil that you prefer. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in my seed starting station. If you guys liked this, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Check out my Instagram. It's just at Small Town Garden Life. I talk about gardening, motherhood, thrifting, and sustainability. Until the next video.